up and then charge them with assaulting them like we're not humans, like having our lives ruined because they're cops. We're just supposed to, you know, live like this.
Yeah, and God, you know, thank God, I mean, these two people just came forward, and not only two people came forward, three people have now come forward. All people have contacted me, said that they're going to, you know, sign affidavits, that they'll stand up in court, and they'll speak the truth about the police abuse, the fact that you know, the police assaulted two innocent civilians that night, and that they levied false charges. You know, both me and the female who was assaulted, we were told that we were interfering with an investigation. Well, she ended up getting a public intoxication charge, and I ended up getting a felony harassment charge. Neither of us got interference of an education.
So to be clear, though, you told me off air that they pulled these people over at 7-Eleven, and that the passenger was telling the driver about her rights, and that's what caused them to attack dog her. I mean, in your own words.
Yeah, no, so she, her friend was getting out of the car when the cop pulled her over, and she just said, don't take the breathalyzer. And, you know, her friend goes back to the back of the car, so she yells again, do not take a breathalyzer. The cop, Borski, comes up, leans in the car. I don't know what he said, but he essentially said, shut up, don't get in the way of this, you know, sobriety test. And then she's sitting there and she's just looking in the rearview mirror, and she sees her friend is scared. And so then she yells again. She's on the phone actually as well, so there's another witness.
But if Borski wanted to get the drunks, he'd go to the cop bars. I mean, he could arrest all of them. Well, you'd probably pull over some other police cars and find some drunks. But, I mean, I'm sorry, expanding on that. So what happened next?
Well, I think that the, you know, the driver was black and the passenger was Hispanic. That might have helped a little bit. But, you know, at that point, she screams out once again, do not take a breathalyzer. And then apparently, Borski tells Snyder, he goes, go get her, you know, according to the other female. And so, he comes running around the car, you know, starts talking to her, opens up the passenger door. From my perspective, it didn't look like anything. You know, it's a little innocent, harmless female, so I was like, whatever. This poor girl's gonna get DUI, but you know, that sucks, but that's the way it is, New Year's Eve. But then all of a sudden we see this girl getting yanked out violently. She's screaming in pain. They're twisting her arms, and it was just too much. You know, we couldn't just stand there and you know, get back in the car and drive away.
Well, in the past, coming to a woman, having her arms wrenched behind her would be called gallant. Today, it's called terrorist. Okay. In America now, Abu Ghraib torturing children in front of their parents is humanitarian. Putting Al-Qaeda in charge of Libya and bombing them is humanitarian. And I'm not even joking. This is now humanitarian, we're told. I mean, the Peace Prize winners dropping bombs, and then it says these aren't bombs. This is a kinetic action of friendliness. And so, I mean, we've gone beyond satire. We're now in the realm of craziness. We still have some of our First Amendment left. What's the best Facebook? We're going to show this video with the audio here in a moment, but what's the best Facebook account, or how do people find out more about your story?
Yeah, my personal Facebook account is Antonio.Buehler, but you have to be a friend with me. I don't really have much room.
Sure, but if the media wants to contact you.
Media wants to contact me, they can contact, we set up a Yahoo account, Austin Police Abuse at yahoo.com. That's where we got all of our witnesses to step forward. They can contact us there. They can contact me on Twitter, Antonio Buehler, ANTONIOBUEHLER.
What do you make of Arde Saveda coming out and saying that he always does the same thing now? He says, oh, it's just not clear, some of it's conflicting.
Well, I don't know if it's stalling tactics. They just want this thing to go away, and then they'll drop it to make it quiet, or if you know, they're standing up for their cops. But you know, in a moral, properly run police department, you know, you don't protect people like that. You don't protect criminals just because they have a badge and a gun.
Well, I'll say this: it's one thing if a woman who might have been drinking or whatever stumbling around. I don't know that. And then you're putting her in handcuffs and twist some arms or whatever. But then you said they picked her up like that. That really is assault. That's excruciating. Your arms aren't supposed to even go up as high as they are there. But the fact that he came on the back of the paddy wagon and told you, I'm teaching you a lesson. And the fact that they're ready for taxpayers to pay for you in jail for 10 years when you've had nothing but a productive life right here. In fact, I always see how it's veterans and people that are always seems to be standing up to this tyranny and getting in trouble. And then, you know, oh, you're the greatest thing in the world, our great troops, but then you're dog meat, though, whenever you get, you know, on the wrong end of not licking boots. And I'm not saying all police are like this, but there's a system-wide move to protect this type of behavior.
Well, to be fair, if I was a young black or Hispanic male and I stood up, it probably would have turned out much worse, and no one would probably have heard of it. You know, it's just because of my background that people are willing to listen, and that's pretty disturbing.
So, I mean, have you had a chance to talk to the police since then?
Oh, I filed a internal affairs report with them, or I tried to at least. Haven't heard back from them. They haven't been radio silent. I've called them.
Well, I mean, it's a big deal when they're comfortable to say that you gave them felony assault by spitting on them. I mean, did you spit on them? I don't see it on the video.
Of course not. Only a fool would spit on a cop that has a badge and a gun. You know, it's just stupid. You can see in the video quite clearly that I'm backing up the entire time.
Yeah, no, he's the aggressor. You're trying to de-escalate things.
Right.
You know, every time I want it to turn out they're telling the truth. It's like this case down in South Texas where they said, no, we didn't shoot him in the back of the head, and now we know they did, and now we know that they reportedly did know it was a BB gun, and the kid was desperate and freaking out. And look, if somebody's busting in my house, I'm going to shoot a BB gun or not. I'm not even... I can understand why this happened, but then it's the lying always. Yeah. It's the fact that it's just constant lying. Right. And I understand the cover your butt thing, but when that becomes systematic, then there's these abuses of, well, let's just put Antonio in jail for 10 years.
Yeah, cover your butt, but sending someone to jail for 10 years, that's ridiculous.
Well, and again, covering your butt isn't good, but because it always leads to then that.
Right.
And then what's coming next? It's this. Well,
it's just funny. This cop who assaulted me and the other female, he won the award last year for the most DUI arrests. You know, they celebrated the fact that he had the most DUI arrests. The female who got assaulted, she was arrested for public intoxication. Typically, you get public intoxication after the driver is arrested for DUI. She got manhandled and arrested for that before the driver was even finished with the field sobriety test. So they have everything all backwards, and they're just trying to throw people in jail.
Well, no, this is what feeds the government now. 11% of Texans have an arrest warrant out. Meanwhile, the good guys rot in filthy jails. It's really disgusting to have seen this happen. You know, I had the Austin police about 4 years ago. Rick Perry had gone to Bilderberg. And he came to town, and he was at a fundraiser at a hotel. We had about 100 impromptu demonstrators. Said, hey, he's down there, let's go protesting. And we're on the sidewalk. We don't need a permit, we're not blocking the road. And the Austin police have lost dozens of lawsuits over this. They know this. And the captain comes over and he says, leave now or I'm gonna arrest you. This is in front of witnesses, I didn't have a camera on him. And then he comes back later on camera and says, leave now or I'll arrest you. And then a local newspaper comes over and says, did you really say you'd arrest him, you didn't leave? He goes, I never said that, he's a liar. And I got so mad at that guy. And they got the riot police already across the street, dressed him, tried to intimidate us. And I said, come on, you guys know I'm gonna sue you for this. But they were ready, and they were getting their billy clubs ready. And it's like, you're really trying to intimidate my First Amendment. I mean, you've got a criminal traitor, Rick Perry, that broke the Logan Act, went to meet with the global crime bosses about carving up Texas Energy and shutting down our power plants. I'm just here, everybody else is getting drunk and watching football or whatever. I'm here on a Sunday night, bullhorning this guy, protect my rights. And every time the cameras would walk off, he'd be like, I'm gonna get you. And it was just like, man, you really are a scumbag. And I blew up at him, at that point, because it's just like, man, you really are just a thug. I mean, it'd be one thing if they thought they were a good guy and abused their authority and were on power trips. It's that so many of them, and we see this through history though, I don't know about the guys you ran into, but clearly a lot of them really are just control freak thugs, bullies that went and got a badge and a gun. In closing, where do you go from here?
Oh, well, we're trying to get the charges dropped. They're ridiculous. I think that they should drop all charges against all people involved. I think that Austin needs to investigate, fire this guy, and throw him in jail. I mean, he's a criminal. He attacked people. But right now the focus is...
and you're saying false police report that you spit on him.
Yeah, and assault. So, yeah, I mean, these two guys are loose cannons. You can't have cops running around with guns, assaulting peaceful citizens. Oh, meanwhile, in case anyone happened to forget, that same night, around the same time, there's a madman running around less than 2.5 miles away, assaulted 3 women, killed 1. So, the cops are more worried about people who aren't really drunk and 2 peaceful citizens who, hadn't attacked anyone or hadn't hurt anyone and were no threat to anyone. Meanwhile, someone was just going around and trying to kill women. Priorities.
Well, yeah. Wow. I tell you, there was a day and age when police would be embarrassed to be out enforcing and doing little petty money-raising tactics.
Well, this guy is, his official title is apparently something like a DUI enforcement officer or something. So it's not like this guy actually deals with real crimes. He just picks on drunk people who are driving home.
I had had cops pull me over where I only have a water, and they say, that's alcohol, I'm going to search the car. I'm like, that's not. You just want to search my car. Shame on you, man. That's a water. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, let me look at it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play along with you. That's water. Well, I'm going to check your tent now. Let's check. And I was like, I'm going to check. I was like, man, the tent's okay. They're like, what's this? And I'm just like, man, again, it's being treated like a prisoner. The system wants us to think we're bad and they're good.
Right. And they're just looking for charges. I'm sure you saw the thing in New York where they were planning drugs, right?
Oh, yeah, well, Dallas got caught doing that. Tulia, Texas. Houston's been caught. They all get caught.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they don't all get caught. A lot of innocent people sit in jail.
Sure, but most major police departments have been caught framing people, running the drugs.
Right.
Hell, the Justice Department ships the guns into Mexico and the drugs back in. Well, we're going to let everybody make their own decision watching this video that luckily your friend shot from across the street as we go out here.
My friend, random citizen doing the right thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
But and thanks to you putting flyers up, that's what's really turning the tide here is that citizens have cameras, and that's why they're trying to put people in jail. Have you heard about them trying to put people in jail for life for filming cops?
Yeah, I remember following a case in Maryland that was pretty disturbing.
Oh, they were filming cops beating people, the riot police from like 100 yards away, yeah. Rob Dew got arrested on a hilltop videotaping police beating college students for no reason.
I believe it.
At the G20, and the G20 had ended, and then they just went to the college at night at like 8 o'clock at night where the people were in park eating hamburgers. And it's like them chasing women and knocking them off bicycles, and Dew's up on a hilltop. He's suing them, by the way. Dew's up on a hilltop videotape, and they come to him and they say, well, we know you're not violent, but you're going to go to jail. It's just like, we're just going to catch more slaves.
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to end the show right here. We're going to go out with the raw video, with audio, and let folks make their own decision about this. But I sure hope that you can continue to be a productive member of society, and taxpayers don't have to pay for you in jail for 10 years. But who knows? Maybe we are the bad people. Maybe he does need to go to jail for 10 years. Maybe that's what America is going to be all about. Half of us will be jail guards. The other half will be in jail. We have the biggest prison population, not just per capita, but period, worldwide, more than China with 1,200,000,000. All right, that was a big jumbo transmission. I want to thank Paul Watson for doing the news at the beginning, and I'll be back this Sunday 4 to 6 on the radio, and back Monday 11 a.m. and back Monday with INFOWARS Nightly News. Great job to the crew. Great first week of the new year here with INFOWARS Nightly News. I want to thank all of you that are subscribers at PrisonPlanet.tv. You pay the way for all the millions that watch this each week online. And we're certainly waking people up. As tyranny gets worse and worse, that's the time to be speaking out, because people are finally listening. God bless you all.